Okay, guys, welcome back. We're almost there. We're on the last page, the last two problems, or last three problems. Now, number 13 says, which one of the following is a factor? There's that word. If it's asking me which is a factor, it's also telling me to factor. Now, I noticed that this one, there's a 1 here. If there's a 1 there, I can use the easy method. The X box, the X method is the easy method. The X method, not X box, just the X method. If I'm doing the X method, what goes on top? You're right if you said negative 30, what goes on bottom? You're right if you said 13. Now, I hope that I have numbers that multiply to make 30 and add or subtract to make 13. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. So let's see. I'm trying to make 30. So 1 and 30, 2 and 15. Oh, there it is right there. 2 and 15. Now, which one needs to be negative? Now, first of all, I know one of them needs to be negative. That's the only way I can get 13. And plus, that's negative. I want to get a positive 13. So since this is positive, I give the positive sign to the bigger number. That means that 2 is negative. So then I'm done. It's the easy method. Remember, when we do the X method, we go straight from the X to the answer. So that's going to end up being X minus 2 times X plus 15. So let's see which one's the correct one. Aha, D. Oh, here's another one. Factor completely. Wow, this factoring, it must be really important, huh? So now you can, there was only one problem on this test that I had to do quadratic formula on, okay? So, I mean, you can do quadratic formula. Sometimes it gets a little sticky. You end up with a lot of fractions and things like that. That's up to you. But remember, always check for GCF. If you pull out the GCF first, a lot of times it makes the math so much easier. Because look at this. Once I pull my 6 out of here, what does that leave me with? It leaves me with n squared minus 6n minus 7 equals 0. Guys, I'm liking this because once again, the leading coefficient in front of this n squared is now a 1. I can see that. Remember, Miss Davis says your math eyes? I can see that with my math eyes. Man, if the leading coefficient is 1, then all I need to do is the X method. That's the easy method. So I put a negative 7 on top. I put a negative 6 on the bottom. The only numbers that multiply to make 7 are 1 and 7. Since this is negative, my larger number needs to be negative. So that's a negative 7. 1 take away 7 is negative 6. I get to write my answer. So I think my variable is n, so it's n plus 1, n minus 7. But don't forget, remember that GCF we factored out? We got to put it back in as part of the answer. So here we have it, factored completely. Guess what, guys? We're on our last problem. It says, what are the solutions to the equation? The solutions are the same as the values of n. We're looking for n. What's the first thing we always check for before we do any equation? Did you say GCF? Yes. Always check for the GCF first. Okay? Is there a GCF 3, 12, and 9? Yes, there is. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I hope you said yes. Gotta know your multiplication facts, guys. It will make life so much easier, I promise you. So my GCF is 3, so I get 3, and then I'm left with n squared minus 4n plus 3 equals 0. And then, I am so happy because I have a 1 here because I have my math eyes on. And so that means that all I have to do is make my x, the 3's on top, negative 4's on bottom. The only numbers that multiply to make 3 are 1 and 3. And if they're both negative, they'll multiply to make a positive 3. They'll add to make a negative 4. So that means that I can write this as 3 times n take away 1 times n take away 3 equals 0. I don't really have to worry about this 3. I just need to worry about the n's. N minus 1 equals 0. I meant to drop those parentheses. You don't need them there. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. N equals 1. Add 3 to both sides. N equals 3. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helps you a little bit. I know this has been a lot. I know it's hard. I'm not going to lie and say it's easy, but keep pushing, keep working. I will be able to answer some questions tonight through Remind, but I'll kind of be unavailable. So if you send me a message, I'll try my best to help you, but I won't be able to make any videos or anything like that, okay? So you can still send me a message and Remind if you have a question. Okay, make sure you watch all these videos and then watch them again if you need to, okay? Bye-bye.